My wife tried to trade me like a used car at poker night, so I exposed her in front of everyone. The moment my wife suggested trading me in for a better model in front of our neighbors, I knew our 8-year marriage was over. What she didn't expect was that I'd call her bluff, right there, in front of everyone. By the end of the night, she'd learn exactly what happens when you publicly humiliate the person who's been carrying you for years. I'm Ryan, 34 years old, senior manager at a mid-sized tech company. Nothing flashy, but stable. Good benefits, decent salary, the kind of job that lets you sleep at night without checking your bank account every morning. My wife Ashley, 32, hadn't worked in 18 months. She'd been a marketing coordinator before deciding the corporate world wasn't fulfilling her creative spirit. I supported that decision. I always supported her decisions. We hosted a monthly poker night with neighbors. Nothing serious, $20 buy-in, cheap beverages, an excuse to socialize. It was our turn to host, and Ashley had been on edge all week. Her college friends Madison and Sophia were visiting from out of state, staying in what Ashley kept calling their mini-mansions. Madison married a plastic surgeon. Sophia's husband did something in finance that I never fully understood, but apparently paid extremely well. Our house? 3 bedrooms, 1,500 square feet, paid off 2 years early. I was proud of that. No debt, no landlord, just us and a mortgage-free roof over our heads. But Ashley had been walking through our home all week like she was seeing it through her friends' eyes and finding it lacking. The poker game started normally enough. 10 people around the dining table, neighbors Tom and Lisa, the Johnsons from 2 doors down, Claire from across the street, Ashley's friends, and a few others. Ashley was on her 3rd glass of wine when the conversation turned to careers. "Ryan's so stable," Madison said, and I couldn't tell if it was a compliment or an insult. "Same company for what, 7 years now?" 8, I corrected. "See, that's dedication," Tom offered. He worked in construction management. Good guy, always had my back. Ashley laughed. Not her normal laugh. This was sharp, with an edge I didn't recognize. Dedication. That's one word for it. The table got quiet. You know that feeling when everyone senses something's about to happen, but nobody wants to be the one to acknowledge it? That. "What's another word for it?" Sophia asked, smiling like this was all just fun conversation. Ashley leaned back in her chair, swirling her wine. "Comfortable. Unambitious. Content with being adequate." I felt my face get hot, but I kept my expression neutral. "Ashley?" No, it's fine," she waved her hand dismissively. "I'm just saying, sometimes I wonder if maybe we should have a trade-in policy for spouses. Like cars, you know?" She looked around the table, performing now. "Mine's a 2016 model. Runs okay, nothing fancy. Pre-trained, 0 maintenance required. Doesn't break down, but also never really goes anywhere exciting." The silence was deafening. Madison and Sophia exchanged glances. Lisa's mouth was literally hanging open. Tom was staring at his cards like they held the secrets of the universe. Claire, sitting directly across from me, set down her cards carefully. Claire was 33, a widow. Her husband died in a car accident a 1.5 years ago. She mostly kept to herself, but she came to poker nights, bringing her golden retriever Murphy, who usually slept under the table. "That's an interesting perspective," Claire said quietly, her voice cutting through the tension like a knife. "Some of us spent years searching for exactly what you're describing. Stability, loyalty, someone who shows up every day and does the work without needing constant praise for it." Her words hung in the air. Ashley's face flushed red. "Oh, here we go," Ashley said, her voice dripping with venom. "Relationship advice from the desperate widow. How long are you going to milk that tragedy, Claire? Your husband's been gone for 1.5 years. I watched Claire's face. She didn't flinch, didn't look away. At least I had the decency to appreciate him while I had him. That's when I stood up. Every eye turned to me. "You know what, Ashley?" I kept my voice level, controlled. "Let's do it. Let's make that trade." Ashley blinked, her performance faltering. "What? You want to trade me in? Perfect. I accept. Effective immediately." I looked around the table. "Claire, you doing anything tomorrow night? I'd love to take you to dinner. Somewhere nice." "My treat." Ashley's face went from red to white. "Ryan, I was joking." "Were you?" Because it didn't sound like a joke. It sounded like you were airing out thoughts you've been having for a while, using alcohol as an excuse to finally say them out loud. "Everyone jokes around at poker night." "No." I shook my head. "Nobody else here just humiliated their spouse in front of 10 people. Just you." I walked to the kitchen, grabbed a bottle of water, and came back. Everyone was frozen, watching this unfold like it was a movie. "Let me lay out some facts," I continued. "This house? Paid off. In my name. My credit, my down payment, my signature. The Camry in the driveway? Also mine. Also paid off. No car payment, no mortgage payment, no credit card debt. I've been the sole income in this household for 18 months while you found yourself. I never complained. I never made you feel less than for not working. I supported every decision you made." Ashley was crying now, but I wasn't done. "And you just sat here and told a table full of people that I'm adequate, that I'm boring, that you wish you could trade me in for a better model." I looked at Claire. "Dinner offer stands, if you're interested." Claire met my eyes, and I saw something there. Respect, maybe. Understanding. "I'd like that," she said simply. Ashley stood up abruptly, her chair scraping against the floor. "You cannot be serious right now. You're going to throw away 8 years of marriage over one stupid comment? 8 years? I felt something cold settle in my chest. "Ashley, this isn't about one comment. This is about every time you've complained that I'm not ambitious enough because I'm not making 6 figures. Every time you've compared our lives to your friends' lives and found it wanting. Every time you've made me feel like I'm failing you by being exactly who I've always been. Someone who works hard, pays the bills, and comes home every night. I never—" "You did. You do. You just did it again in front of everyone who matters to us in this neighborhood." I turned to her guests. "I apologize for ruining poker night. This wasn't how I wanted this evening to go, but I think we're done here." People started gathering their things, avoiding eye contact, mumbling apologies and goodbyes. Madison and Sophia left without even looking at Ashley. Tom squeezed my shoulder on his way out. "Call me if you need anything, brother." Claire was the last to leave. She paused at the door. "I meant what I said about dinner. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, I'll pick you up." She nodded and left. Murphy trotted after her, and I found myself thinking that even the dog seemed to have more dignity than my wife in that moment. Ashley and I stood in the suddenly empty house. The poker chips were still scattered across the table. Half-empty drinks sat abandoned. It looked like a party had been evacuated due to an emergency, which I suppose it had been. "Ryan, I'm sorry. I was drinking. I was showing off to Madison and Sophia. I didn't mean—" "You did mean it. That's the problem." I started collecting glasses, needing something to do with my hands. "You meant every word. You just didn't expect me to react. Please, we can work through this. Couples therapy, whatever you want." "What I want," I said, setting down a stack of plates carefully, "is for you to pack a bag. You can stay with Madison or get a hotel. I don't care. But you're not staying here tonight." "This is my house, too." "Actually, it's not. It's my house, my name on the deed, and right now, I want you gone." She stared at me like she'd never seen me before. Maybe she hadn't. Maybe she'd only ever seen the version of me she wanted to see. The comfortable, stable, unambitious guy who would take whatever she dished out because he was too passive to fight back. "You have until 5 p.m. tomorrow to get the rest of your things. After that, I'm changing the locks. You can't just kick me out. Watch me." Something in my tone must have finally convinced her I was serious. We went upstairs. I heard drawers opening and closing, hangers scraping against the closet rod. 20 minutes later, she came down with an overnight bag, her face blotchy from crying. "This is insane," she said at the door. "You're going to regret this." "Maybe, but not tonight." She left, locked the door behind her, then stood in my quiet house, surrounded by the debris of the worst poker night in history, and felt nothing. No regret, no sadness, no anger. Just a strange, hollow calm. I spent the next hour cleaning up, washing dishes, putting away chairs. My phone buzzed constantly, Ashley calling and texting, alternating between apologies and accusations. I turned it off. The next morning, I woke up at 7 like always, made coffee, checked my email, went for a run. Normal Sunday routine, except nothing felt normal. The house was too quiet. Ashley's absence was like missing a tooth. You keep touching the space where something used to be. At 8:30, there was a knock at the door. I opened it to find Claire, holding Murphy's leash. "Morning," she said. "Murphy got out and ran over here. I think he smells your breakfast." I laughed, despite everything. "Come in. I've got bacon." She hesitated. "Are you sure? I don't want to—" "Please, I could use the company." We sat at the kitchen table, the same table where everything had imploded 12 hours earlier, and had coffee. Murphy settled at my feet, and we didn't talk about the previous night. We talked about her work as a physical therapist, about my upcoming project at work, about the fact that the Johnsons were definitely getting a divorce and everyone in the neighborhood knew it except them. It was easy, comfortable. The word Ashley had used as an insult suddenly felt like exactly what I'd been missing. At 10 a.m., Ashley's car pulled into the driveway. Through the window, I watched her expression go from determined to shocked when she saw Claire's car already there. She stormed up the walkway and through the front door without knocking. "Are you kidding me right now?" She stood in my kitchen, pointing at Claire like she was evidence in a trial. "I've been gone for 12 hours and you already have her over?" Claire stood up calmly. "I should go." "No, stay. Have another coffee." I turned to Ashley. "You wanted a trade-in? Congratulations, you got one." "This is unbelievable. This is—" She looked at Claire. "Did you plan this? Were you waiting for an opportunity to move in on my husband?" "Your husband? You literally tried to trade him away last night. You called him adequate and boring in front of the entire neighborhood. You made it very clear you didn't value what you had. And you're just so perfect, right? The grieving widow who everyone feels sorry for? Stop." I moved between them. "Ashley, get your things and go. You're not welcome here anymore." "We're still married." "Not for long. My lawyer's office opens tomorrow morning. I'll be there at 9 a.m. She stared at me, and I saw the moment reality finally hit her. This wasn't a fight we were going to patch up. This wasn't something wine and apologies could fix. This was over. She grabbed a box from the garage and went upstairs. Claire and I sat in silence while we listened to her moving around up there, packing up pieces of the life she'd decided wasn't good enough. When she came back down, her arms full of clothes still on hangers, she paused. "Madison said I can stay with her until I figure things out." "Good. Ryan, I really am sorry. I know you are. I'm sorry too. Sorry it took me this long to realize I deserve better than someone who sees me as adequate." She left. This time, I knew it was permanent. Claire stayed another hour. We didn't talk about Ashley or the divorce or what any of this meant. We just existed in the same space, peacefully. And when she left, she touched my arm at the door. "See you tonight for that dinner?" 7 o'clock, I confirmed. "Wear something nice. I'm taking you to Antonio's." The next few weeks were a blur. I filed for divorce on Monday. Ashley contested nothing. She couldn't. The house, the car, the savings account, all mine. She'd contributed exactly nothing financially to our life for the past year and a half, and that was documented. She tried calling daily for the first week, texts swinging wildly between "I've changed" and "You'll regret this." I blocked her number. She showed up at the house twice. The second time, Tom and the Johnsons happened to be outside and made it clear she wasn't welcome. The neighborhood had chosen sides, and it wasn't hers. Meanwhile, Claire and I started spending more time together. Nothing rushed, nothing forced. Dinner dates turned into movies, turned into afternoons walking Murphy through the park. She got me in a way Ashley never had. Understood that stability wasn't boring. It was the foundation everything else was built on. The divorce papers were served to Ashley at Madison's house. According to Tom, who heard it from Lisa, who heard it from Madison's neighbor, Ashley had a complete meltdown in the driveway, screaming, crying, the whole performance. Madison and her surgeon husband were reportedly concerned about having her stay longer. Ashley found a job as a receptionist at a family counseling center downtown. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. She moved into a studio apartment in a building that she used to make fun of when we'd drive past it. She started dating someone, a guy from her gym who, according to her social media posts, which I didn't look at, but Claire's friend Jennifer kept tabs on, was intensely jealous and checked her phone constantly. The karma was almost too perfect. 6 months after poker night, I hosted another game. Claire was there, officially as my girlfriend now. The whole neighborhood knew and approved. Ashley's name didn't come up once. It was like she'd been erased. And honestly, it felt good. Claire and I were taking things slow, but they felt right in a way nothing with Ashley ever had. She appreciated the things about me that Ashley had mocked. My consistency, my reliability, my contentment with a simple, stable life. She didn't need me to be anything other than what I was. One evening, sitting on the back deck with Murphy sprawled across our feet, Claire looked at me and said, "You know what's funny? Ashley tried to trade you in like you were some used car with too many miles, but she didn't realize she had a classic." Classic? I'm 34. You know what I mean. Reliable, timeless, holds its value. The kind of thing you hold on to, not throw away. He squeezed my hand. Her loss, my gain. Looking back, I don't regret how I handled that night. Could I have been more diplomatic? Maybe. Could I have tried to work it out? Probably. But here's what I learned. The moment someone shows you they don't respect you, believe them. Ashley spent years making me feel like I wasn't enough, and I spent years trying to be more. more ambitious, more exciting, more whatever she needed that day. The truth is, I was always enough. She just couldn't see it because she was too busy comparing our life to everyone else's highlight reel. She wanted the surgeon's house, the finance guy's car, the Instagram perfect life. What she didn't want was me. And that night at poker, when she tried to humiliate me in front of our friends, she did me the biggest favor of my life. She showed me exactly who she was, gave me permission to walk away, and cleared the path for something better. These days, I'm still a senior manager at the same tech company, still living in the same 1,500 square foot house, still driving the same paid-off Camry. The only difference? I'm doing it all with someone who sees those things as strengths, not limitations. Someone who understands that the best things in life aren't the flashiest, they're the ones that last. Ashley texted me once, about 4 months after the divorce was final. Just 3 words, "You were right." I didn't respond. There was nothing left to say. She'd made her choice that night at poker, standing in front of everyone and declaring I wasn't good enough. I'd made mine too, to finally start valuing myself as much as I'd always valued her. Best trade I ever made. Write what you think about this situation. Also, if you like this video, give a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on the bell to receive notifications about the latest videos. See you next time. Bye-bye.